Okay, so we're just going to take a quick look at the rear Ashi position, how to control it, because that's going to be another position that we're going to have to know how to defend because it's so synonymous with knee bars. Rear Ashi, we're in the seated position and we're controlling our opponent's leg. Now, big mistake that people make is that they have just their arms through like this and they don't have their legs involved as frames. If it's just my arm and Kevin aggressively curls his leg down, he's going to be breaking my posture, he's going to be breaking my grip. It's my arm and some of my body versus his entire leg in its strongest range of motion. What I'm looking at doing is having one of my legs always checking. So it depends on like the steps that we're in. As I'm first trying to move up, notice how my leg is now crossed over this line underneath his leg, and I have my foot in base here. So as I'm controlling, as I'm starting to turn into this position, if Kevin tries to curl his leg right now, or extend it away, all he's doing is just driving into the top of my thigh, which now absorbs weight through my shin bone and foot right into the ground. Nice and strong. This arm is typically going to be the one wrapped through. Doesn't honestly matter. As I sit up and I get to here, this is going to be the part where I have to be careful. Most people at this point are going to start curling their leg over for you and triangling their legs. This already, what it ends up doing is it brings his leg over top of our thigh. And so now as I'm sitting here in this position, I just want to make sure that this leg is positioned still as a strong frame and I'm not just doing something like this, because now my base becomes really weak, and if he pushes me away, I'm going to have some difficulties here, risking of back takes or him just extracting the knee line. So as I'm here, I got my arm already still waved through. It's starting to get kind of stuck, but that's fine because I'm going to be working on breaking this apart. If he doesn't curl the leg right away, then obviously we're keeping one of the legs shelved, whether we're going to be turning all the way through to 411 or just attacking the knee bar, we're going to be capturing this much sooner to start attacking. So what we need to do is we need to break the grip of his legs. So it's going to be a triangle. What we're looking at doing is taking this far arm and grabbing the outside of his pinky toe here at the small joint. The further to the lever on the toes, so that I can start to create that inversion of the ankle like I'm rolling it. So here he's nice and strong. As I start to access the toes, I'm going to bend it. So then I can start to bend his knee in like this. So depending on the flexibility of your opponent, it's going to kind of dictate on how soon they're going to have to be reacting to this. But in order to get this leg, he has triangled it underneath the other leg so that I cannot access the end of the lever. I have a mobilization of the hips, control the knee, but no lever access, so the knee bar's not here yet. We're going to get lever access on the opposite leg. We're going to start to internally rotate their hip and put that pressure into their knee so that then this leg becomes vulnerable. What I'm going to look to do is fall to my side, and it's going to be falling to obviously the side of the leg that I'm attacking, so that we're falling onto the strong side to limit their ability to base. So as I'm here, I'm still controlling this leg. I'm dropping down and I'm curling my legs here and I'm creating this wedging effect. I'm still going to be doing this because I need to keep this leg out of the equation. He's going to be looking to try and re-triangle his legs as soon as he can. Here. Now, depending on the length of your opponent, the strength of your opponent, the length of yourself relative to your opponent, it's going to be very difficult for me to just grab the leg and do this. It can be done sometimes, but it's going to be much easier for me to try and bring my body to the foot rather than bringing his foot to me. Bring him here. What I need to do is I need to start trying to add a rotation-based element as soon as possible. I'm going to have to bail on this leg and bring my arm to the inside. If he tries to bring his leg back in here, it's just going to be a bit of a pummeling battle here, hand fighting. I want to try and get my head up to his toes as much as possible and get my hand to his heel, so that as he's trying to curl his foot here, I can start to move towards adding that rotation-based element. So that now if he tries to curl his leg further and stop me from extending it, I'm going to be able to do so with a lot less effort because I'm trying to affect the structure of his leg, making him weak, and then pulling the leg back rather than getting into this curling battle right here. So, as I'm in rear Ashi, I make sure that my leg is posted here first, and he's going to be curling here. I can start to square up a bit more now because obviously his leg is already curled over top of mine. And so the great thing about this position is that I'm reverse engineering his bridge. I talked about this in one of my mount videos, but what Kevin wants to do when he bridges is plant his feet on the mat and lift his hips. The feet are in contact, his shoulders are in contact, his hips are in the air. This, with like this kind of style of control, I'm lifting his leg up and I'm putting all my force into his hips right now. So when he curls his legs together, here, he's going to try and drive some base from my thigh using me as a platform of support, but trying to lift his hips right now, very difficult. I've severely limited his range of motion. I'm putting all my force into his hips, so I take away his ability to base effectively. It's great for me. So we're looking to really lean into our opponent. Be careful about leaning too far the one side, getting moves. I don't care so much about leaning too far this side because it's still very difficult for him to move me, and obviously we're going to fall into the strong side. Controlling, bringing this back, falling. I keep controlling this leg as I move up as much as I can, getting closer and closer to his foot. I clear it out of the way. I get my head over his toes. See how I can already start to create this rotation of his foot as I am, before I've even let go with this arm. Here, grabbing, then I take the slack out of the joint, and I finish the knee bar. So, now we're going to start looking at how we're going to be defending fully extended knee bars and also working back from this rear Ashi position to basically start building the different ranges of defense against the knee bar.